What is going on, guys? Civil World from Samuel One World Productions here. Back with another top 10 list for you today, and this is continuing on the series of videos I've been doing where I talk about my favorite movies from 1996 to 2022. Hope you all have enjoyed this series so far, and I'm right back to filming it after not really filmed much of these type of videos last few weeks because of my stuff and work and other stuff, but now I'm back talking about my favorite movies of 2002. Again, done 1996, 2001, if you guys want to check those videos out. But I hope you all enjoyed this. I'm actually very excited to talk about some of these great movies. Again, I know you wrote like a few of these movies are some of my favorites of all time, so I hope you enjoy. Again, as I do, my personal opinion, I will let them know your favorites down below. But as always, before we get to the actual top 10, let's get into the honorable, and I mean the honorable mentions. The films that were still great and are still amazing, they just did not make the list, and those films are 28 Days Later, Adaptation, Barbershop, Big Fat Liar, Ice Age, The Powerpuff Girls movie, A Walk to Remember, probably one of the only good Nicholas Sparks adaptations that we have gotten. Those are those movies. Enough, Panic Room, and Blade 2. All fantastic movies. We just didn't quite make the list. So let's get to the actual list, shall we? Now, kicking up the list at number 10, we have The Ring. The Ring, probably one of the better, not one of the best horror remakes that's done, honestly. I think I have seen the original. I think it was an honorable mention I believe in my actual list, so. And I have not seen The Ring 2, and of course I have seen Rings, which was terrible. This my opinion is the best version of the character. I do love the original, don't get me wrong. Again, it was probably the hardest film to actually knock off that list, honestly, for being honest, but I think the remake really does a fantastic job with telling us a different take on this story, which is definitely one of the more interesting stories to tell in a horror movie. And the way it's handled is basically, they do a great job with the atmosphere and actually the visuals, which is, you know, something that Go Look at Ben C has done excellently is because of his visuals and how he enhances the visuals and the storytelling. And he nails that here, especially with the design of the creepy imagery and everything, like creepiness and scares done very well. Fantastic performances, especially from Naomi Watts. Again, from that's just all around terrifying and it's great cinematography, some of the best cinematography ever in a horror movie. And great editing, great score by Hans Zimmer, and but the writer actually has a questionable project after this on set. This thing after the most likely to be Transformers movies. He did a great job with great screenplay that has great scares and having characters that you care about. So yeah, 20 years later, The Ring still scares. Coming in at number 9, we got a film that I don't remember if this was the first time watch or if I have seen it, but it's been so long. But number 9, we have Punch Drunk Love, which is a film done by Paul Thomas Anderson, which I've not seen like every movie that he has done. I'll say Boogie Nights, There Will Be Blood, Phantom Thread, and Licorice Pizza are the only films I've seen from him. And generally, all of those are great movies and fantastic films, honestly. I think he's like one of those directors who always directs amazing movies. They're not exactly films I probably want to go back very often to. I don't know if it's because of the subject matter or just how the film's directed or some aspects, but they're not the films I've ever seen myself like wanting to come back to very often. And truthfully, that's probably the only reason why Punch Drunk Love is only number 9, honestly, because in some ways it's probably good in my top 5, but again, one of those people with honestly rewatch kind of plays a lot into some movies and how high up they'll be up here, so. But there's still a lot to love about this movie. Again, this is my opinion, Adam Sandler's best performance ever, and proved that he can do Dexter very well. You need a great performance from everyone as well, especially from Philip Seymour Hoffman. But he's got a very touching and relatable story here as well. So I think a lot of people can relate to in some areas, honestly. And so go through some very nice surprises. They're very interesting movies, and also has some great surprises, honestly. Again, that was a film I don't know if I would see myself. I don't know if it's an unpopular opinion. I even just have this at number 9, honestly, but But yeah, gentlemen, this is still a fantastic movie. It's just probably like to get guys other movies, like maybe some Boogie Nights. I don't know if it's gonna still come back to very often, but it's still obviously great enough to where it does belong on this list. And now we got an interesting one coming in number 8. And this was actually unintentional, but number 8 we have 8 Mile. Here's 8 Mile. The film that based has Eminem in his directorial debut, and it still delivers on that really compelling and engaging story. And it's definitely a very simple story, but it's one of the things where it's simple story and simple structure, and like it's not like going to blow you away into the story. And there's no one things where I think that the actual that it takes a lot of elements of Eminem's life, and also the screenplay and the acting and what happens in this movie does elevate it a lot on slang. But being acting, Eminem does a really good job honestly portraying this character that you do care about. They do a good job with the world building and everything, and what this guy like went through here trying to make as a rapper. But then you also get great performances, especially from Kim Basinger, Brittany Murphy, and just characters that you didn't care about. Honestly, an interesting world that's really developed. And you get some badass moments here as well, especially with the rap sequences in general, which are still iconic and still incredibly memorable. And of course, the soundtrack is fucking killer. Like, I'm pretty sure we all still love Jamie Out to Lose Yourself. And so yeah, it's one of those movies that it is very familiar. It's really the screenplay, the actors, and how they portray, and how it's directed, and the execution is what elevates it to being a very inspiring and sometimes a touching movie at times. With some excellent, badass rap battles. Again, Lose Yourself is still a jam. Now, at number 7, we get to a Disney movie, and this is what this movie I've always loved growing up. I've always rewatched, I've always gone back to, and even almost like 20 years later, it's still good enough to be on this list. Next, I want to so be an underappreciated classic, and that film is Treasure Planet. Now, this is one of the movies where either you love it or you hate it, honestly. That's more because of the execution and how much it's in the actual movie. I got a lot of people that just flat out just love it, and how people that just are disappointed and overwhelmed by it, but again, I've always loved Treasure Planet. Again, it could be nostalgia talking, honestly, but honestly, I've always loved this movie. From its beautiful, breathtaking animation that still holds up very well today, from its very interesting and great characters, the excellent world building, by short runtime was able to actually done enough to actually make you feel invested in what's going on. Yeah, excellent voice performances, but I totally forgot that I didn't realize actually the Joseph Gordon-Levitt actually voiced the main character, actually. Like, I didn't actually realize that until now, actually. But yeah, everyone does a great job with their characters, everyone does a great job with filming the roles, and you get excellent characters again with Jim Hawkins, again John Silver, what he goes through throughout the movie. Everyone does a really good job of what they're doing with these characters. You get some great humor in some moments, some excellent spectacle, and some sequences that are just so much fun and so entertaining. Yeah, it's the right amount of emotions. Of course, there's no being one of the biggest bombs that Disney has ever done, but it's obviously a level of a classic in recent. But again, I've always loved this movie so much, and I've always loved the scope, the epicness, the imagination, and to be honest, despite the fact that Disney is honestly making so many live action remakes, this is one I think will honestly, this is probably one of the few Disney movies I think actually benefit from live action remake, honestly. Like, the going for a lot more the obvious and safe ones, it's like, you have Treasure Planet right here, like, this would benefit greatly from a live action remake. But yeah, Treasure Planet, the original, still fantastic. And now, coming in at number 6, we have another movie that I did end up rewatching for this list, and that is The Bourne Identity. Again, this is another movie that I totally forgot how great it was. Eventually I do plan on watching The Supremacy Ultimatum for the other lists, honestly, and well, maybe like Legacy and Jason Bourne, honestly. And I've always enjoyed all these movies. Like, Bourne is definitely known to be one of the best action franchises out there, and to be honest, for good reason. And it's not one of those stories where it might seem very simple at first and not like the most interesting story in the world, but it's really how the characters elevate it, how the script elevates it, and it makes it one of the most great, interesting, engaging worlds in the action movie franchise. franchise. Again, you do feel about Jason Bourne's story and what he wants to go through. Doug Liman does a great job of directing it, and the actions are fantastic. Matt Damon gives one of his best performances as his character, as he delivers the emotion and the action and the hilariousness of everything. Those good performances in general from the entire cast as well. Really interesting characters throughout. A great score, fantastic direction, and again, a story that's actually just compelling, and a world that's really compelling. And you want to know more about this and that. So, as a whole, Bourne Identity is fantastic. I think, honestly, I think this might be my favorite of the Bourne franchise, but we'll see what happens when I rewatch Supremacy and Ultimatum. But we'll see how that goes. Now, coming in at number 5. At number 5, we have Minority Report. I can pretty much these top 5 are films I consider to be all-time favorites, or films I've always loved coming back to, and Minority Report is no exception. Again, I don't know if it's clear, but I love Steven Spielberg. He's one of my favorite directors of all time. I think a lot of people say his films kind of went down a bit in the 90s, but honestly, I always thought he's one of director. Like for me, I never really disliked any film of Spielberg, honestly. Even the films that are non-B-hated, I actually enjoy more than most people. Minority Report has always been one of my favorites from him. It's my top 10 Spielberg movies, and very frankly, it has definitely always been one of my favorites from when I first watched it. And great concept. Tom Cruise and Colin Farrell give some of the best performances, great surprises, great reveals, and fantastic action. Like joining us, so when the movie was great, I'm pretty sure all the Minority Report is fantastic. Yeah, the concept still just phenomenal and incredible. They do a fantastic job of exploring that aspect as well. And it's a film that really gets you thinking, and the surprises and how it ends, perfection. So, yeah, I've always loved Minority Report. Now, at number 4, we have Insomnia. Like I mentioned before, pretty much every other film Christopher Nolan's done is good upon making these lists. Yeah, I'm Memento, I'm not best of 2000 list, and spoiler, probably most like his other movies, maybe aside from a couple of Redemptions, will probably be on this list, because I mean that's how great director Christopher Nolan is. And I think I watched the movie for the first time in 2017 when I did like Christopher Nolan review series that I don't think I haven't even finished, honestly. Being inspiration for Dunkirk, and yeah, this one was the first time watched for me. So around that time, and I've rewatched it a lot since then, and I've always loved this movie. And it's definitely not being the black sheep of Christopher Nolan movies. That's because it's the Nolan film that feels like the latest Nolan movie out there he's directed. I'm saying that this film doesn't really have his usual tricks, the usual stuff that you expect from a Nolan movie. It's just it's one of those movies that, again, it feels like your typical generic movie, action FBI movie. But again, it's really the writing and the characters and the cinematography and some moments that really elevate it. Again, Al Pacino giving, in my opinion, one of his best performances, and what they went through with this character is actually really interesting. Hilary Swank also is fantastic here, but of course, rest in peace, Robin Williams gives definitely one of his best performances here, but actually playing as the actual villain in this movie, which again, sometimes don't see often. Like I think it was a period where he was playing like the more mischievous person, and I think it genuinely delivers. Like truly, genuinely delivers on that stuff, and that back and forth is great, and the ending still gives me every single time. Yeah, Action Wednesday is great. It still has fantastic cinematography and some incredible surprises that it makes sometimes feel like it is very generic. Though again, it's basically the least Nolan movie that is still another excellent entry in Nolan's filmography. Now, I actually debated a lot between my top 3, actually. I actually went very back and forth, honestly. I think while I'm filming this, I was like, should this be number 1 or should this? Like, I was actually a lot back and forth, honestly. But I just decided to go with this. So, coming in number 3, we have Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. Yes, this film is this high. This film is this high. Again, you guys don't know, Spider-Man is my favorite superhero of all time. I absolutely adore Spider-Man. And this was the film that actually introduced me to this character, made me the Spider-Man fanatic that I am, and yeah, 21 years later, this film still holds up. This film still is fantastic. Again, it does have a few day aspect with the cheesiness and some plowels and Green Goblin suit, but that just adds to the charm. It's one of those things where it adds to the charm in the movie. That never really comes to like a big issue. Again, it's the Sam Raimi like embracing the cheesy and the goofiness, and even though everyone's having a blast with their roles. And I've always loved Tom McGuire as his character, and his portrayal is still fantastic as both Spider-Man and Peter Parker. And I've always liked Mary Jane on Slate. Don't find me on that. Yeah, Harry Osborn's great, but James Franco, of course, Willem Dafoe was Green Goblin. Like, how can you not love that guy playing that crazy character, and what he goes through throughout the movie is just incredible. It's amazing they actually brought him back 19 years later for No Way Home, and honestly, that makes his portrayal here so much more impactful. As well, the action's still fantastic, the wrestling aspects are still great. The film has so many great hilarious moments, everyone has great chemistry. You even get some nice emotion here, especially towards the end, the movie with that funeral scene. That's honestly one of my favorite Spider-Man moments out there. So, and yeah, the original is still definitely like to there be in the upper echelon of Spider-Man movies along with the two Spider-Verse movies, No Way Home and Spider-Man 2. But this one's considered to be like the true high up echelon when it comes to Spider-Man movies. And while this pop is the least of those upper echelon like I mentioned, there's no denying that the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man is still a fantastic It's still one of my favorite super movies, not just one of my favorite films, period. Now, coming in at number two, my favorite movie of 2002, my second favorite movie of 2002, is a Disney movie, and this Disney movie has always been like one of my favorites, like in my top 10, probably top 5 favorite Disney movies. Disney animated movies, and that is Lilo and Stitch. Like, I've always had a huge admiration towards this movie. I always thought super highly of this movie, and honestly, I still do. And honestly, for good reason, because Lilo and Stitch is a fantastic film. And the animation holds up pretty well today. It has a great balance between having like the zaniness, the crazy alien stuff, all the crazy zany humor and the craziness that you expect from a Disney movie at this point. Well, having probably the most realistic and emotional story out of any Disney movie. Like this one, I think it's probably connected so much because, like I said, I connect so much to like real stuff, honestly. But Lilo Stitch has probably the most realistic story in any Disney movie. Where Lilo, who's someone that he should come across as like a bright kid and someone you should not care about. When you find out what she went through, which is like no kid should go through, and what nice is just going through and everything, and all the crazy shit that it goes on, you really do feel these characters. And Stitch is also a very interesting character as well, and his bond with Lilo is just one of the best bonds in any Disney movie in general. And all the characters, really from the humans, to the aliens, to the villains, are all well developed and all fun and great. Again, the way this film manages to balance between the zaniness and the craziness, while also balancing the human emotion, is outstanding, honestly. Trying out with a great soundtrack, some moments that really just hit you in the legs, especially the ones between Lilo and Nani, especially towards the end. And it's also one of those movies that will just make you just love and just appreciate your family so much more. So, why are we making this? Then why are we remake this one? Honestly, because yeah, but Lilo and Stitch, honestly, this probably might be my top 5, not top 3 Disney movies, and I'm always going to defend and love this movie so much. Why are we getting a remake is honestly beyond me, honestly, but the original is still a classic. It's one of my favorite animated movies and favorite films, period. So now, what is the number 1 best movie of 2002? Well, that, my friends, to be honest, you probably should have guessed, honestly. We know what films came out in 2002, honestly. My favorite movie of 2002 is Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. Like I mentioned before, I debated between my top 3 for a while, honestly. Like, I could have maybe with Spider-Man being number 1, I could have maybe Lilo and Stitch being number 1, honestly. I mean, I was never really debating, but in the end, I decided to go with The Two Towers, honestly. A film that I don't think that, despite being the middle chapter of this trilogy, it's still a case on what makes these films so great, with the continuing on with the excellent world building, the great character development. Like, do I need to say why 2000 is on number 1 on this list? Because again, Lord of the Rings is definitely one of the most beloved trilogies for a reason. again, I've always loved Two Towers, honestly. I truly think it's better than the Fellowship of the Ring. I think this trilogy just gets better every entry. It's like, and all these films are fantastic, A+ movies, in my opinion. And Two Towers is still a fantastic film. We got great visuals, great world building, fantastic actors, and some nice great surprises that, though some end up revealed the trailers, but all around Two Towers, excellent film with some great emotion, and might be the best movie of 2002. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed me discussing my top 10 best movies of 2002. I'd love to know down below in the comment section, what are your favorite movies of this year? I would definitely love to know down below in the comment section. I got a lot more exciting videos coming very soon with my music. Hope you guys enjoyed that more direction. Again, like I mentioned before, I'm going to be main music focused from here on out. This is probably the only main series I'm still going to be doing. Honestly, that all on my review, if on your views or rankings, they'll be more onto TikTok and YouTube Shorts, honestly. So, hope you guys understand that. Hope you're enjoying that direction. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I am Cinnamon World from Cinnamon Productions. I will see you next time, and as always, stay cool, everybody. Peace.